I used to lay there and imagine that I was going to be like Muhammad Ali one day, the greatest. And I didn't know exactly whether it was going to be in music or whether it was going to be in sport. I managed to do both, and thus far in my lifetime.
Conte channels his early love of athletics into the nutrition supplement business. And in 1984, in San Francisco, he founds BALCO, the Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative. Its target clients are the best athletes on the planet.
The idea was to collect a database on world-class athletes and then develop individualized nutrition programs for them.
But it turns out Conte is walking a thin line between innocent nutritional supplements and illegal performance-enhancing drugs.
He was someone who felt that he could achieve anything and that it didn't really matter what he had to do that. In his mind, everything he did was fair game.
Victor Conte, he's the person who said powerful athletes are gonna want some of these supplements, and I think that I can get them in their bodies faster than the FDA can say whether or not they're safe, and also faster than the World Anti-Doping Agency can say if they are in fact illegal performance enhancers.
In the 1988 Olympics, I went to Seoul, Korea with the team. I had 25 athletes that I'd done comprehensive testing and consulting for. They brought back a total of 15 medals. It was absolutely amazing to watch and be there at the finish line.
For Conte, the victories in Seoul are a pinnacle of glory. And they put BALCO's nutrition supplements on the map.
Immediately, it was a multi-million-dollar product.
Then, in 1999, Conte meets Patrick Arnold, a chemist and bodybuilder who's about to give BALCO a whole new class of drugs.
He told me about this substance that he had. And he didn't call it a steroid, and he just said it seems to help with recovery. And he called it stuff. He said, I've got this stuff,
What Arnold has is a powerful and illegal designer steroid with startling effects.
People that were doing weight training were getting very strong very fast. I'm the one that came up with the name The Clear and called it The Clear.
The Clear is a fitting name, as the substance is impossible to test for, and Conte knows it'll be in high demand.
I had this vision that I felt that with the right team of people that I could help to create the world's fastest human.
You hear that a lot in the people who are the real preachers of performance-enhancing drugs, is that it's never in terms of cheating. It's not cheating. It's reaching your full potential as a human being.
To help promote BALCO and its products, Conte looks to the upcoming 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney, Australia. And he's about to find a competitor to help carry his torch. Someone with the same passion for victory that he has, Marion Jones.
Nothing was gonna get in Marion's way. This was a woman with a goal, and she was gonna accomplish it at all costs.
For top-tier athletes competing on a world stage, along with all those who help get them there. Winning is the ultimate high, and some will do whatever it takes to gain that glory.
Because there's so much money behind sports teams and competition, especially things like the Olympics, everybody's trying to get a leg up, so to speak, on each other. The lure of performance-enhancing drugs is incredibly strong.
Track and field star Marion Jones has always had a nearly insatiable determination to win. And in the summer of 2000, she has her sights set on the Olympics in Sydney.
There are no words to describe the hype leading up to Marion Jones in Sydney. She was the face of the U.S. track and field team, which is very rare for it to be a woman.
She possessed all the attributes that we love in our heroes. She was excellent in her chosen field, yet humble, attractive, accessible. She was someone who an entire nation had their hopes pinned on.
Behind the scenes, outside of the spotlight, is Victor Conte. He's developed undetectable performance-enhancing drugs for world-class athletes. And he's hoping the 2000 Games will be his time to shine too.
In terms of my goal of creating the world's fastest human, I really believe that if you gave me anybody in the top 10, I'd make them number one.
In June 2000, 3 months before the start of the Games, Conte says he receives a call from Marion Jones' coach, Trevor Graham.
It was, hey, can you help Marion? And then the following day, I get a call from C.J. Hunter, who is her husband. And so we talked about all this stuff extensively on the phone.
C.J. Hunter was very educated, let's say, on the use of performance-enhancing drugs and on this ethos that said, you know, everybody's doing it, and so you're gonna need to do it too.
When you're training to compete on such a global scale, you're deferring a lot of decisions to other people. When you are dealing with an elite athlete that is bringing in the kinds of earning potential that she was.
The initial box that I sent to the group for Marion Jones had the Clear, the designer steroid. It was a very sophisticated program that looked just like somebody who was not using drugs. C.J. Hunter was already experienced at using drugs, so this wasn't their first rodeo, so to speak.
But designer steroids, like the Clear, are powerful drugs, and they can also be dangerous, especially for professional athletes.
A very strong psychological addiction can be built from the steroids. Any of these performance-enhancing drugs or steroids give us that boost because emotionally and psychologically you get very tied to this sense of power and this sense of who you are. And that's very, very hard to shake as well.
The Olympics